There we go. That should be it now. That should be it. Let me know if anybody can't hear me now. Sorry about that. Apparently I missed a step while I was setting up. Cool. Andre can hear me. That's great. That's good to know. Yay, audio. Cool. All right. Sorry I missed a step there, friends, but thanks for letting me know that I missed it. For people who do my live stream classes, they will know that literally the first thing I ask every week is, can you hear me? Because the way I set up my audio is a little bit complicated, and sometimes sometimes I miss a step. Cool. I'm so glad everybody can hear me now. Yay! Welcome to January's live stream, the first live stream in 2023. Yay! Thank you all for joining me tonight. It's going to be a special one where I am going to be sharing with you all my reactions to your flow. I already have at least one person who sent me a video privately that he wants me to react to. But yeah, if any of y'all out there want me to react to your videos tonight, last time we tried just having people drop links into the chat and it didn't really work. So the way we're going to do this is that if you want to send me a video, you can send me a direct message, preferably via either Instagram or Facebook, or you can email me at drex@drexfactor.com, and I'll be able to pull it up and watch it during the course of our live stream tonight. Yeah. So if you'd like for me to react to a video, go ahead and send it via DM to me, and thank you in advance. Also, real quick, thank you to our sponsor tonight, UltraPoi. Yay! So as you can see, I have my full backdrop set up, so when we get to the Q&A section, I will be more than happy if you have any questions about Poi stuff. I can demo stuff. I can do a little bit of spot checking there, and I'll be using Orb Poi Pros. These are my go-to LED contact Poi at this point. Yeah. So thanks UltraPoi for sponsoring our live stream tonight. If you want to grab a set of these or any other sets of Poi or flow props that UltraPoi has to offer in their store, you can do so. You can do so by using the promo code DrexFactor with a 0 instead of an O at checkout. UltraPoi.com. That gets you a discount on your order, and it helps out the channel. Everybody wins. So thank you once again to UltraPoi for sponsoring these here live streams. That's awesome. We'll tune back in later. Would love to send you my stage access, Jeremy. Yeah, I'd love to see it for sure. Cool. So I think what I'm going to, Luis. So Luis sent me a video earlier today via DM. Luis, are you on the live stream right now? Go ahead and chime in the chat over there. Yeah, and again, if anybody else wants me to react to their work, gosh. So live streaming is so weird because like I'm getting this like monitor video of me talking to you all, and it's flipped from what I see when I look in the mirror. So all of a sudden I become like really, really painfully aware of the ways in which my face is not symmetrical, and I find myself like kind of trying to compensate for that. Live streaming is such an adventure. What can I say? But yeah, anybody who hey, Luis is here. How you doing, buddy? Hola, ¿cómo está? Mr. Kane Music says, hey, Flow fam. Oh, and also let me just say hi to everybody. Jillian says, hey, Andre's here. How you doing? Kay Weber, nice to see you. Jeremy Grisa, we said hi to you. And Luis is with us, Mr. Kane Music. Hello, everybody. Also, too, God, I'm going all over the map tonight. What can I say? One thing to keep in mind is that I'm going to be reacting to Flow videos for our first half an hour of the live stream, and the second half an hour is going to be Q&A. So if you got any questions, get ready to drop those in the chat here in like 20-25 minutes. And yeah, that will direct our discussion for the second half of the live stream here. But Luis is here, and he did me the service of sending me a video to react to earlier today already. So I'm just going to go ahead and queue up Luis's video first. If anybody else has videos that they would like me to react to, you can send them to me via either Instagram or Facebook. And yeah, with that, I will go ahead and pull up Luis's video here, and we can go ahead and watch it together, yeah? Bum, bum, bum. Yay, all the things work. I love it when a plan comes together. Cool. So this is pretty short. This is only about 26 seconds, but I'm here for it. So let's see what Luis has for us all there, friends. Ooh, that was hot. Cool. So right off the bat, I'm just going to say I really, really love all these rapid pirouettes that you're doing. Kay Weber says I did Instagram. Cool. I will check that out next. Yeah, Luis, I love the really, really rapid pirouettes you're doing in there. I love the fact, I think the first one was with a meltdown. The second one was in together opposites, it looked like. Also, your 1.5s here are looking lovely. Let's see what else you got in store for us here. Interesting. Oh, I got you. It's in together opposites. That's why that's happening. Cool. Nice flowers. More nice flowers. Linear isolations. I love those. Yeah! Oh, that under the leg work was hot. That was fantastic. Good job there. I love it. Also, that's kind of weird. Why is that happening? Okay, cool. Sweet. And let's see how you finish it off. Hey! That was lovely. Nice little tuck behind the shoulders there. I think I said this on the last live stream too, that like a lot of people don't think enough about how they're going to end a video. And I love that you like have some specific stuff that you do to show that you're at the end there. So kudos. I'm actually going to let that one go one more time here just because this was really fun. Nice pirouettes. Nice 1.5s. Stalls. Another nice pirouette. Cool. Love the turns. Love the footwork. So I will fully confess that I'm a little bit of a snob when it comes to flow at this point, and I really rarely watch videos where I don't see people's feet moving, or at least they're not doing something interesting with their feet. Luis, you do not have that problem, my friend. I appreciate that about you. Yep, that under the leg thing was hot. Love it. Woo! Nicely done, man. I dug that a lot. Fantastic. My one question, so there's these bits earlier on in the video. Yeah, right, where is it? Right here. So the poi there are moving in together opposites, and the hands are doing something interesting, and I'm not sure what the intended move is supposed to be there, and I'm curious. Yeah, because it almost looks like what's meant to happen there is almost like a quarter time thing with the poi, having them meet in the middle. I could be wrong about that, but if that's the case, yeah, there's a little bit of tweaking necessary there to get that timing down. But if I'm wrong, then no harm, no foul, and I really dig everything else that's happening in here. So good job there, Luis. I dig it a lot. Thank you so much for sharing that. Cool, cool. So, Kay Weber says that they wrote me via Instagram. Let me pull that up then. Let's see here. Second one with 4 poi. Kyle Weber. Huh. So Kyle, let me show you what I've got right here. So I've got a message from you saying the second one with 4 poi, brand new to 4 poi. I don't know what that means. I don't know if you meant to send a link with this or it's something in your profile. If you could please come back and send me a direct link or be a little bit more specific in those instructions, that would help me out a lot. But yeah, happy to come back to that. And if you can just include a link in that message, that would be that'd be super helpful. Thank you in advance. Luis says, gracias por comentar mi video. De nada. My pleasure. You do good work. I love seeing it. I want to see more of it. Keep up the great work. Oh shoot, okay, so Kyle's video just came through here. So let me switch things back over. Second one with 4 poi, brand new to 4 poi. Okay, so let's see what you got here, friend. Well, this is 3 poi, but cool. Nice. Cool. I like how you're keeping time with all that. It looks like your right hand is, that's almost like wibbling right there. That reminds me a little bit of wibbling. Cool. Huh. No, that's 3, says Kyle. Interesting. So there's some Superman action going on there. And now we've switched timing. Now we're back to together timing. Oh, snap. And now we're back to some Superman action here. And I think we're doing some juggling now. Yep. Cool. Awesome. Thanks for sending that over, Kyle. So it's interesting. I haven't seen a lot of people do 3 poi with their poi that short. You know, in a lot of cases, people keep their poi pretty long so they can do like traps and immobilize one of the poi, which is one of the things that I don't like about 3 poi, because it's like, you know, if while you're doing this, the whole point is to immobilize one of those poi, then why don't you just do 2 poi to start with? But assuming that the video has not been flipped and is not a mirror image of its original self here, I'm really, really, really impressed with what you're able to do with your left hand here. I could not do this myself. I would have a difficult time holding this timing steady here. Yeah, so what I like about this is it's clear that you've got a lot of control over both your timing as well as what your left hand is doing. Again, the left hand control is quite impressive here. The one thing I might throw out there is just, I do notice that like when you get your hands working together, let me see where I can find it here. Yeah, so right here, it looks like things get a little tricky and a little messy. So I would say, like, you're doing fantastic with hand independence here, and I think that's working for you. I think, like, working a little bit more on coordinating the hands together, like, if you were to get into doing, like, a Superman weave, that looks like it wouldn't be too far a leap from what you have right now. But yeah, I would say you're off to a really good start. I'd love to see more stuff that like integrates the 2 hands together, but yeah, really, really great start there, bud. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, you're writing me a bunch of messages while I was watching. Okay, here I'll watch this other one you sent right quick too, and then we can then we'll move on to the next person here. Cool. So, good timing control. Yeah, great control with those butterflies. Oh, and the split time too. Fantastic. Yeah, I definitely cannot do that with 4 poi. Interesting. So it looks like we've got a kryptonite and a Superman going. No. No, I think that's just a meteor weaving a Superman. This, I am not sure what's going on there. I think that's supposed to be some anti-spin flowers with 4-poi. So yeah, love the timing control here. The timing control is fantastic. Yeah, so that's just a meteor weave with a Superman. Okay, gotcha. Interesting. Yeah, this I'm less sure of what's going on there because it looks like it's supposed to be a flower, but the pieces aren't really coming together for me as I'm watching it. Yeah, so again, I'd love to see some more of getting the two hands involved together. Your timing control with both of your hands is fantastic. I love. I think that like especially like being able to do split time butterflies with both hands at the same time. That is a very, very specific skill. I cannot do that. Absolutely not. So that's super impressive. Yeah, I would. So here's the thing, and like your goals may vary here. I personally like to focus on tricks that like are both technically difficult as well as like, they present as something to the audience that the audience knows that a thing has happened. If indeed you're working on some anti-spin flowers there with your 4-poi, the technique does need to be cleaned up a little for it to read for the audience. So the other thing I would just say there is the combination of the meteor weave and the Superman. It's cool that you can keep independent control of each. Again, for the audience, it's difficult to read what that is. 4-poi definitely gets into that realm where things start getting complicated enough that like the more complex a combination of things you put together, the less it reads for the audience. So I would honestly say like doing Supermans with both hands or meteor weaves with both hands at the same time is more likely to read for your audience. That may not be your goal, and if that's not your goal, that's totally fine. But yeah, that would just be my reaction to that. Really, really great control. Would love to see the two hands coordinate a little bit more. That's it. Thank you for sending me those videos. You have a hell of a lot of skill there, friend. Keep up the great work. Cool. I have more messages waiting for me here on Instagram. Mr. Kane. Ah, yes, I see your message here. Jillian, I would love to have a video for you to react to. I'll be sending to you on Instagram. Cool, I'm seeing you in my inbox as well. Mr. Kane sent a clip from my stream to your IG DM. Yep, I've got it. Luis says, gracias, de nada. And Mr. Kane says, fun stuff. Cool. All right, Mr. Kane, I think you're next here. Also, just to put this out there, friends, don't put anything in these DMs that you don't want to have show up on the live stream, because as I'm going in and out, there's a non-zero chance it's going to get flashed on screen. So just keep that in mind. All right, it's on Twitch. I do not know a lot of Twitch streamers that do flow arts. That's pretty cool. Let's pull that up here. Cool. I would say that I am mature. Let's blow this up to full screen here, or at least as much as it's willing to let us. Here, let me start that over then. Cool. I love horizontal planes. Everybody knows I love horizontal planes. Good horizontal isolation there. Oh, were you doing this as you're DJing? That's pretty cool. Brave man doing so many horizontal planes inside of what looks like not a very big space. Cool. I love the whirling dervish aspect of this. All these horizontal flowers are fantastic. Cool, and now we're into some vertical planes. Nice! Give me them gunslingers. You know I love gunslingers. Fantastic. Nice toss. I think that last bit, I'm not sure what happened there. So I'm going to give you one note because this is something that I'm working on with my own spinning right now. It's something that when I switched over to spinning sock poi primarily, I discovered I was doing sloppily and I didn't know it. So let me see if I can look at a moment where, yeah, right there. So check this out right here. Do you see how your planes kind of go diagonal for a second there as you're turning your body against the direction that the poi are spinning in? I notice that happens when I spin too, and I'm working really hard on fixing it. Your horizontal planes here are so beautiful that moments like that where it gets a little bit off definitely stick out, which, you know, if you're happy with it, that's the important thing. But yeah, like watch for those moments. And I'm literally only picking on you because this is something that I am working on myself in my own poi spinning, and it becomes a teachable moment here. I hope you'll forgive me. But yeah, so when we're turning our bodies the opposite direction that the poi is turning, what tends to happen is it puts more tension on one side of the pattern. And what I'm finding works well for that is, and it's always going to be the outside part of the pattern. Whenever you're turning your body against the direction of the poi, if you're doing like an inside pirouette, it's always going to be the side that's out towards the outside of that turn. And the thing to do there is honestly see if you can kill a little bit of the momentum. Like almost imagine that it's going to be a pendulum that you're going to be swinging around rather than like a full corkscrew. And that will take some of the tension off of the tether, and it'll make the horizontal planes read just a little bit better. But yeah, that's my only major note here. I didn't catch that was a tangle the first time. Okay, so that's going to be another note for you. Yeah, I dig what you're doing here with the lighting, but something you got to bear in mind is that with LED poi, because the tethers are almost universally dark, tangles just don't read on video. So, not saying don't do it. I'm saying like, so here's a possibility. Maybe if you have like a ring light or something like that up front near your camera, when you want to do tangles, you can come up closer to the camera and they'll read a lot better because, again, the tethers just disappear in the dark here. But yeah, love those gunslingers. Love those gunslingers. Great job there. Cool, nice toss. Yeah, and that was another one of those points where I think the tether kind of got a little bit away from you there, which is cool. Yeah, no, this looks like fun. Cool. I might have to check out your next Twitch stream. I'll take a look at that. But yeah, the things I love here, the use of horizontal planes. I think horizontal planes are fantastic. They don't get used nearly enough. I also really, really love. Sorry, I didn't mention this before, but like. One of the great things about this room that you're spinning in and your setup here is it breaks one of the things that I really, really dislike about a lot of poi, so when internet video became the primary means by which we exchanged information about poi, it was great in that it improved access to a whole bunch of stuff, but it also was really bad because video flattens space. Things become two-dimensional when you just set down a camera and and just set it to record, especially because the cameras that we use in our cell phones and the like, just the specific focal length tend to flatten everything down a little bit. And what you're doing here is fantastic. And now that I'm looking at this, I'm wondering if you're using like a fisheye lens for this because it creates a lot more depth in the room that you're spinning in. I love how you are using the depth of the room in this performance. I love the horizontal planes. Yeah, just overall, I think this is really cool. Yeah, the only notes I'd give you are just in terms of like lighting those tethers so we can see the tangles, and cleaning up those moments when you're turning against the direction of your horizontal planes. Other than that, like, yeah, looks awesome. Love it. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that, Mr. Kane. Cool. Next up, I have got, let me see what's going on here. I do DJ and practice flow at the same time. Excellent. Yeah, I lost at the end. Mr. K Music. Ooh, that was a good pointer. Sweet. Sonic Hill would love to get your reaction to my latest flow. We'll send you an IGDM. Cool. K Weber, you going to Kinetic? Ask me again when we get to the Q&A section. Right now, I'm going to go a little bit over time on looking at people's videos here. I've been talking a little bit too much. But yeah, Sonic Hill, send it to me. I see that you already have. Mr. Kane, thanks for the feedback. You're so welcome. Raven Wyatt, how do we submit our flow videos? Send me a DM either on Instagram or Facebook. That's how you do it. With a link, please. With a link. Cool. Mr. Kane Music, thank you so much. You're so welcome. Thanks for sharing those with us. All right. I think that, yes, here we go. Next up, we've got Jillian. Pull that up here. Cool. Let's see what you got for me here, Jillian. Cool. I'm seeing some reel/butterfly action here. Cool. I appreciate you back. Oh, interesting. I appreciate you backing up so I can see more of what's going on. And this feels a little bit like a thread the needle or a chase the sun. Cool. Those behind the head planes are looking good. Oh, watch out. Nice butterfly. Nice reel. Yay, horizontal planes. You know how I love horizontal planes. Yeah, so one piece of feedback I'm going to give you right now is, when possible, back up a little bit further away from the camera so I can see more of what you're doing there. But yeah, I love seeing you move with the poi. I don't know what music is going on in the background here, but it seems like you're into it, which I'm a fan of. Cool, we've got some more horizontal plane action, getting into some corkscrews. And we're back to the butterfly/reels. Cool, thanks for backing up again. Hey, oh, 2-beat weaves, huzzah. You love to see it. You love to see it. Cool. Hey, and switching up which hand is on top. Fantastic. Cool, left on top, right on top, assuming that this isn't mirrored, and tosses. It looks like you're using two different sets of poi here. I don't know if that's true or not. Cool, some shotguns. Love me some shotguns. Nice. Cool. So, you're doing some good work there, Jillian. I love seeing the 2-beat weaves there. I like that you're challenging yourself with the behind the head stuff. Yeah, the 2-beat weaves are looking fantastic. The 3-beat weaves, I think, are just around the corner for you. My one note I'm going to give you is just, so it's not always clear to me whether you're going for like spinning the poi forwards in wheel plane or whether you're going for a butterfly. So if you can do a little bit more work clarifying where the planes are meant to be, I think that'd be super helpful. Other than that, it looks like you're having a lovely time out there, and I love seeing it. So thank you for sharing this with us, Jillian. Cool, cool. Sorry, I'm going to go a little bit faster now because, as it turns out, I have a queue to work through. So I'm gonna go a little bit faster than I was for the first few people here, just so we can get to the Q&A section. So JC Schmiller. JC, are you on the chat, or is this did I just randomly get this this message at this particular time? Please chime off in the chat. I will come back to this, but yeah, I know Sonic Hill also has a video he sent me, so I'm going to dive into that right quick. I just want to confirm that you're on the live stream there, JC. Thanks in advance. Cool. So, Sonic Hill. Let's dive in here. Nice anti-brids. Oh my goodness, that was so clean. Cool, cool. Nice reels. Split time butterfly. Love to see it. Nice stalls. Hey, nicely done there. Cool. We've got ourselves a Mercedes. Flowers. Spiral wrap. Heck yeah. Cool, cool. So my one note for you is going to be right here, and that is that as you're doing, God, I wish that Instagram would let me track back and forth on this. Okay, JC is here. Cool. I'll hit you up next. So my one note for you is just on that that pendulum versus cap. The relationship between the poi head and the hand is getting a little bit lost here far over to your right-hand side. It happens right there, like right before you transitioned into that windmill. Just pay a little bit more attention to making sure that that relationship stays intact. Because it's one of those things that anti-brids are kind of like a magic trick. And the magic trick gets lost if that relationship disappears. So again, it happens right there is where the relationship gets lost. So just keep an eye on that. And one of the ways that you can fix that is the hand that's doing the pendulum. Make sure that it stays riveted to the opposite shoulder so that the hand can never get more than a poise length away from it. And that's how you preserve that relationship. But yeah, looking real good there. Looking real good there. Thanks for joining us tonight. Raven Wyatt, how do we submit our flow video? Yeah, I got you already. Carl M is just joining. Hello, welcome. Jillian says, thank you for the feedback. I've been trying to dance more with poi than just spinning. Yes, and it is definitely paying off. I'm digging it. I will definitely keep all the feedback in mind and work on my planes more. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. All right, JC, let me pull you up now. Also, I really appreciate how everybody who is submitting videos here is keeping them pretty short. I love that because it's respectful of everybody's time. Thank you. I've had help with some other floaters, but I feel like my negative space seems sloppy and like the intro into it is weird. And when I do 2 arm rolls, my other poi is very awkward and not sure what I could do about it. Okay, let's see. Cool. Nice. Love the anti-brid weave. Oh, interesting. Yeah, so I know it's hard in the space that you're working in, but if you can get a little bit further away from the camera, it's easier for me to track what's going on with the poi here. Oh, those are some nice stalls. Cool, good negative space. Meteor weave, fantastic. Hey, that was a nice one. Good job. And meltdown, behind the back stuff, behind the back crossers. I'm envious. Behind the back crossers really make my shoulders hurt. Hey, nice tosses. That was super clean. Cool. Love it. Love it. More no beat tosses for us. Windmills. Doing some caps there. Nice. That was cool. I was not expecting that. I will give you the same note that I gave to Sonic Hill, which is just while you're doing those anti-brids, be super duper duper careful about the relationship between the poi head and the hand, because if that relationship gets lost, then the illusion also gets lost, and the illusion is part of the point here. Cool. So yeah, I think your stuff here is actually a lot cleaner than you think it is. Yeah, I see what you mean about wanting to keep the other hand engaged during that contact roll. It's also a difficult combo, I know, because I've done that one. Yeah, also that toss is just fantastic. Great job there. Yeah, so yeah, I agree that it would help to have the other hand doing something during that contact roll. As you get more comfortable with it, I think that that's going to become more intuitive. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to tell, but right at the end there when you were doing the pendulum versus cap, assuming that this video is not flipped, it was far over to your left-hand side. The relationship was getting a little bit lost. But yeah, other than that, like everything you're doing is really, really clean. Yeah, good job here. So I think your poise is actually fantastic. My one note for you is actually going to be something you might not expect, and that's that, and you know, I know it's hard during the winter when it's cold out and everything, but I'd love to see you moving around as you do this. I would love to see you like exploring some space, dancing a little bit with it, because your poise already there. As far as I'm concerned, like the poi tricks are there. I would just love to see. I would just love to see you you move around a wee bit and explore that space around you. Cool. Yeah, I love that toss at the end. I've done that and missed it too. So I appreciate the challenge that is inherent in that. Yeah. So yeah, no, your poise looking great. I love it. Yeah, work on clarifying the line in that cap versus pendulum, but everything else there is looking fantastic. Thanks for sharing that with us there, JC. All right. Jel Acuña says, Hola, saludos desde Chile. Amo tus videos. Me movitan. So for those of you that don't speak Spanish, what Jael is saying is, hi there, greetings from Chile. I love your videos and they motivate me a lot. So thank you, Jael. Muchas gracias. Saludos desde Washington, D.C. And thanks for showing up tonight. It's great to hear from people abroad that that my videos are having an impact on them. So muchísimas gracias. I really appreciate it. Cool. And I think that's all I've got. Yeah, that's all the stuff that I am seeing in my message queue right now, at least on Instagram. Let me check Facebook right quick just to make sure I'm on top of all the things. JC, Drex, I appreciate you greatly, man. I absolutely appreciate the tips. I'm going to work on keeping my hand closer to my chest. That was awesome advice. Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you for being brave enough to throw your video out there, mate. Cool. I think that is the end of the queue of videos that I have been sent. I'm not seeing anything else in here. Although I'm doing this on my iPad instead of my phone, so there might be a difference in terms of how Instagram is handling those request filters, but I'm not seeing anything in the request box, which is fine because it's now 7:45, so it'd be a good idea for me to shift over into Q&A anyhow. So friends, ask me any question that you have on your minds, whether you would like to learn how to do a particular trick, questions around the flow community, the world in general, me, etc. Everything is open. I might not answer everything, but I'm at least opening the door if you'd like to ask. Carl M., I sent one on Facebook, but no worries. Shoot. Let me see if I can find that right quick. Oh, did you send it to my professional account? That's probably what's going on here. Hang on. I think you probably sent that to my Facebook page. Oh, wasn't looking for critique, just sharing. Oh, okay. Okay, good enough. Cool. Well, oh, Carrie, cool. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, I see it. So if you want to, I'm happy to. No, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Carrie, sorry, I read that as Carl at first. My bad. No, it's fine. I'm happy to react to it on here, or if you want me to send you any direct, if you want me to just reply to it instead, I can do that too. I also do want to make room for some Q&A tonight though too, so it's up to you. I'm happy to react to it, or just reply to you directly later on. So drop in the chat and let me know which one you would prefer. So earlier I was asked if Carrie says no prob and sure. Sure to what? Reacting to it or sending you the message? If you could, whatever works for you. I'm crashing the party. No, that's the point of the live stream, yeah. Oh, also, because we're transitioning over into Q&A, again, thanks to UltraPoi for sponsoring the live streams. You can grab a set of OrbPoi Pros for yourself or anything else that is in the UltraPoi shop using the promo code DrexFactor with a 0 instead of an O. As we transition into Q&A, I'm going to answer questions in the order that they come in. Or if you want to get your question bumped to the top of the queue, you can send a super chat. That is that button that it looks like a square with a $sign in it. That is basically you tipping the channel. That will get your question bumped up to the top of the queue. And I will answer your question sooner rather than later if you do that. So for those who have the means, thanks in advance on that. And cool, it is very short, sure you can react. Okay, cool. How about we do that the last thing of the live stream then? Let me get to people's questions. So the first question that already came in was about whether I'm going to Kinetic this year or not. The answer is almost certainly no. I know a lot of the people that run it. I think that it's a solid. I think it's a solid event. Over the years, I have seen some things come up with FAI that are concerning to me, and I'm at a point right now that until those things get acknowledged and I see FAI engage in some kind of accountability around them, I don't think I'm comfortable with going to an FAI event, unfortunately. Which, if y'all want to go to an FAI event, that is not a judgment call. It's just, it's my personal opinion on this. You know, I think that I am rather painfully aware that going to an event is also seen as like an endorsement on my part of the event. And I think that there are some things that FAI really needs to address before I feel comfortable putting out the message that their events are ones that I endorse. But there are other events that I'm looking at for this year. So yeah, I will announce those as I'm confirmed for them. Kurt Hobbs, I must have missed the post asking for submissions if there was one. Oh, I'm sorry. No, so I only started asking at the beginning of the live stream. A couple people who had shared videos last time remembered that DMing me was the way to do it. So it was just, I had one video that was ready to go, so I started with that. There was no official post asking for them. I just started asking for them on the live stream. That was all. Alec Hardy says, please do more classic anti-hybrids and 1.5 hybrids video part 2 or part 3. Yeah, so So the 1.5 stuff, I have at least 2 more videos of that are coming up. They take so long to do because of the animations involved. So one of them is going to be just simply on the fact that there are single beat caps. I can actually give you a quick demonstration. So like, you'll remember in my videos about 1.5s, me talking about the fact that like in the 1.5s, like they're basically caps, and 1/2 of them is a single beat move, and 1/2 of them is a 3-beat move. So I've just come around to calling these 3-to-1 caps, and this is also a 3-to-1 cap. This is a 3-to-1 cap because the top is a linear isolation and the bottom is a box mode 4-petal anti-spin flower. So in working through those, what I've also realized is that there are just single beat caps. That is, and one of these you have definitely already seen because it's literally just an extendulum across the bottom, and then this is basically a linear isolation across the top. We've been calling these extendulums for so long, but you can just as easily think of it as a cap that is made out of 2 single beat patterns. So basically what we have is a single beat cap where the poi on the sides is always pointed outward, and then the other one is when we do a point isolation and a linear isolation like so. It's really hard to keep going, but essentially, once again, it's just a pair of single beat patterns that are both oriented so that the poi head is always pointing inward. The other video that is still to come is that you'll note as I'm doing this C cap right here, things are aligned such that the hand path is always matching up with the pattern. So I switch between doing the 3-beat pattern and the 1-beat pattern at either end of this hand path. I don't switch the pattern in the middle of the hand path, but we do have examples of caps where the switch does happen in the middle of the hand path. Gross. So this is an extremely old pattern. This is something that Mir and I showed off in a tech video back, like, I want to say this is more than a decade old. And what's fascinating to me about this pattern is that this is an example of a 3-to-1 cap where the hand path, basically you're switching into the single beat pattern halfway up the hand path rather than at the edge of it. So we have this entire variety of 3-to-1 caps that basically the hand path is, it's not aligned with the poi path. The change in the poi path happens midway through the hand path rather than on either end. This only happens with C caps though. So yeah, coming up at some point, TBD, in the future, I'm going to have 2 more videos on 1.5s, and technically speaking, only one of them is going to be on 1.5s or 3-to-1 caps. The first one is just going to be on the 1-to-1 caps, which that's going to be a pretty short video overall. And then the other one is going to be on those very, very, very strange 3-to-1 caps where the hand path and the poi path are out of sync with each other. It gets weird. It gets so bloody weird in there. Yeah. It is very short. Sure, you can react. Sonic Hill says, thanks for the feedback, Drex. The pendulum versus cap is a work in progress. Yeah, I totally get it. You know, we all have our moves that are just kind of like, you know, works in progress. Yeah. So no, I totally get it. Carrie says it started to become embarrassing. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. JC, I agree with Alec. I would love more anti-brids. Okay. And possibly a breakdown and info about 3/4 time. Well, so here's the thing. 3/4 time, it doesn't look that much different from quarter time. Like, it's basically just a different phasing of quarter time. So I've done a couple videos on quarter time. Quarter time is really not my favorite thing. So all the ideas in the quarter time videos still apply to 3/4 time as well. But definitely, like, the anti-brids, I'm happy to do. Yeah, I'll throw as many anti-brid videos out there as y'all want. I never stop playing with anti-brids. So, is there a specific is there a specific kind of topic with anti-brids that y'all are interested in? Transitions between anti-brids or into anti-brids, or specific types of anti-brids? Are you more interested in like unit circle hybrids, or are you more interested in like unexpected anti-brids? I don't know. Yeah, let me know what you'd like to see there, and that'll help me narrow it down in terms of what I might want to do a video on related to anti-brids. But I am so happy to do more anti-brid content, believe you me. Cool, Jillian, how do you do buzz saws? I am so dying to learn how to do it. Okay. Sure. Oh, hey, Samantha. Samantha Ponga has entered the chat. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. 3-poi anti-brids. Oh my God. I did do a video on 3-poi or I called them tri-brids back in the day. I did an entire video on them. I never got them super clean though. But yeah, 3-poi. I really don't like 3-poi. I'll think about it. I'll think about it. Yeah. Anyway, so Jillian, right quick. Let's talk about buzzsaws. So, you've been working on split time. I know because you're in my class, and we've been talking a lot about split time. So, split time, basically, we're working in buzzsaw plane, and we're trying to keep the poi in split time, same direction here. So, like, kind of I don't know if you know anything about ballet, but basically, you can take a first position here. So you got your elbows popping out to the sides, and you're basically making a little cup with your arms. And what you want to do is you want to get the poi spinning split time, same direction, inside of that little cup there. And as much as possible, like, try and put the handles / tethers as close together as possible, so it looks like they're just like kind of going around a ring together. I highly recommend starting this with your poi shortened up. Wrap them at least once around your hand. Otherwise, there's a decent chance that you're going to hit yourself as the poi are going through here. But yeah, practice trying to get down that split time, and specifically split time, same direction, thinking 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, as they're going through the center there. And, of course, to make it really pop, get down on one knee and do the back bend. Back bend buzzsaw. I should do an entire video on why back bend buzzsaws have such notoriety to them. Cool. Alec Hardy is saying some sneaky hand anti-brids, please. Okay, I'll see what I can do instead of head to hand. Well, oh, I see what you're saying there. Well, so here's the challenge: is that if it's not a head-to-hand relationship, it's not an anti-brid. But okay, so let me do a quick explanation on this. So, no, don't fall over, chair. So anti-brids, they happen when we do a hybrid that specifically makes the hand path for one trick line up with the poi path for the other trick. So in pendulum versus cap right here, I'm basically the hand that is performing the cap is lined up with the path of the poi that's doing the pendulum. The hands are separated, right? This also happens when we do isolations. Isolations have anti-Brid alignments too. Isolation versus cat eye is another great example of this. Again, the hand that is performing the isolation, it causes the poi head to move around the same poi path, and the hand that is performing the cat eye, of course, is moving around the path of an isolation as well. It's just at the opposite end of it from the other hand, which means that it's staying even with the poi. Now, there are examples of anti-brids like this one, where still you'll notice that as I'm performing this cap over top, my hand is still going around the path that the poi head would be down below if it were doing like an extension instead of a pendulum, right? So it's still that my hands have a poise width in between them at all times. So this is what I would call a sneaky anti-Brid, because technically speaking, the relationship only exists for like a fraction of a second to either side of the pattern. If it's a hand-to-hand relationship, this is not an anti-Brid, because it's the fact that the hands are spaced apart is what creates the anti-Brid in the first place. This is what creates this arrangement. I will say that I got a set of zip poi from juggling calling, and I've had a very, very interesting time using them to convert back and forth between anti-Brid spacing and hands together spacing, because of course you can convert the head into the handle at a moment's notice. So there might be some stuff coming up around that, but yeah, that's what I would consider to be a sneaky anti-Brid. If there's a hand-to-hand relationship, it's not an anti-Brid. Samantha Ponga is saying, just working on forward 2 poi 1 hand 3-beat weaves. Is it possible? 2 poi 1 hand 3-beat weaves. Yeah, absolutely it is. Let me show you right quick. So, I'm going to change the colors of one of these heads so it's easier to keep track of what's going on here. Is that different enough? Does that? No, that does not show up on camera at all. Give me just 1 second. Cool. There we go. Hey, blue and yellow, Slava Ukraini. Cool. So to do a 3-beat weave in a 2 poi 1 hand kind of place, what you're really looking to do is add a degree of twist to one side. It's a funky quirk of poi that things that look that look asymmetric when we're dealing with 2 hands look symmetric when we're only dealing with 1. So when we perform a 2-beat weave, this kind of looks off because it's always the same hand that's going over top. We fix this by switching into a 3-beat weave. Now note, as you're doing the 3-beat weave, you're switching off which poi is leading the way to either side. Yellow leads to the left, blue leads to the right, like so. Now if I switch to doing this in a 2-hand, 2 poi 1 hand kind of place, I should have done this the other way, but that's okay. All right, so this is what a 3-beat weave looks like in 2 poi 1 hand. Basically what I'm doing is, so I'm doing 1/2 of a 4-beat weave on one side, and I'm doing 1/2 of a 2-beat weave on the other side. It still adds up to 3 beats, right? I usually prefer doing the extra beat over on my pinky end. I like having my pinky end lead over to the other side and then having my thumb end lead back. So this right here is a 3-beat weave in a 2 poi 1 hand kind of place. It looks funky because, again, both of the poi are connected to the same object. But really, if you think about it, this makes sense. When I'm in just a simple 2-beat, it's always my thumb end that is leading. Whereas if I switch off doing pinky end, thumb end, pinky end, thumb end, pinky end, thumb end, pinky end, thumb end, then I'm switching off which side is leading from side to side. It looks symmetrical when we do it with two hands. It looks very unsymmetrical when we do it with just one hand. It's just a weird quirk of poi. And really the recipe here is just to learn how to do the 4-beat weave in a 2 poi 1 hand kind of place, and be able to switch back and forth between the 2-beat and the 4-beat on either side. Do the 4-beat on one side, the 2-beat on the other side. And that is your 2 poi 1 hand 3-beat weave. Ta-da! The horizontal variant is real hardball. Horizontal variant of what? I'm curious here. Is this where I ask if you are going to kinetic? Yeah, so I answered that question earlier. I'm not going to kinetic this year. Again, it's a Flow Arts Institute event, and there have been some things that have popped up related to Flow Arts Institute since even before the pandemic that that are a little bit alarming to me, and I don't think I'm comfortable going to one of their events until there's a little bit more public accountability around them. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to be going back. I'm definitely not going to any FAI events in the coming year. But we'll see what 2024 has to offer. Oh, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Carrie M says, heads up that the yellow disappears on the white. Yeah, good point. I'm still working at the kinks here. I think actually the darker background that I used traditionally for my videos might be a better fit for LED poi. Thank you for the heads up on that though. Jillian Danskin, wait, is it easier to learn with contact poi or sock poi? I want to do backbend buzz saws. That's what got me started in asking you how to do buzz saws. I would say that sock poi are slightly easier simply because the heads don't take up as much horizontal space. So it's a little bit easier to get down buzz saws with sock poi just because they're a little skinnier. They're a little bit easier to manage putting through your arms. Yeah. Kay Weber says, I like the 4-beat with 2 poi 1 hand better. It feels more natural. I use the 4-beat a lot in 2 poi 1 hand, especially when I'm doing like pirouettes and turns. I just like having the option to get in an extra beat if I want to take a little bit longer doing the turn, for sure. Samantha Ponga says, thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you, Samantha. JC Chmillar says, lol, sorry. The anti-brid horizontal cat-eye isolation. Oh! You mean the tech poi trick that put Drex on the map? You mean that one? Yeah, this is still one of my favorite tricks. I remember when I got this down, there were probably less than a half a dozen people in the entire world that could do it. And still to this day, it's very, very rare. You know, it's funny because over time I thought that like this would become a more common move, that just, you know, with the skill level that people were pushing, that it would wind up being something that that would become more commonplace and that we kind of take for granted. And it's very, very fascinating to me that that never happened, that it is still one of those tricks that is considered really, really difficult, and with good reason, because it is. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that showed up in my videos those first couple years of my YouTube channel that, like, you know, I became, you know, at the time were considered really, really difficult and kind of just became a part of the normal poi vocabulary. And a part of me thought that that was what was just going to happen with everything, and it never happened with that move. Even to this day, that is one of those moves that I can bust out, and like, you know, that's kind of my ace in the hole in a lot of cases. That and isolation versus gunslinger. That right now is the one that I really bust out if I just like if I just want to show, like, because it happens every so often that because I do so much dance and I do so many beginner tutorials, I'll get like crap from some of the tech bros that'll be like, oh, well, Drex never does tech anymore. And I'll just pop one of those out and be like, really? Can you do this one? Cool. Looks like I'm still ahead of the curve then. Kind of a dick move, I know, but yeah, sometimes I feel like you kind of have to meet that energy with that energy. Maybe not the best look for me. Who knows? Totally ridiculous. I feel like I always get my poi length wrong. How long is it actually supposed to be? So the length that I prefer is from my thumb. Basically, I can stretch the poi from this point in between my thumb and index finger all the way to the edge of my shoulder joint. So right here where I get to the edge of the deltoid. It doesn't reach all the way to my chest. It's just to basically this point where the biceps and the deltoid kind of meet here as they hit your chest. This, I honestly think, is just the default length for contemporary style Western poi. And if you find you want to go longer, you can go longer. And if you find you want to go shorter, you can also go shorter. It's totally up to you. But yeah, I feel like that's kind of the default length at this point. If you want a more specific number, that length for me is like 23 or 24 inches, I want to say. I can't remember what that is in centimeters, but whenever prop companies reach out to me and are like, hey, we want to send you stuff, 23 inches is what I usually is what I usually quote them for the length that I want from them. Yeah. Sarah Hoffbauer asks, how can I improve independent hand movements, especially reversing tricks? Yeah, so that is a big question right there, and that is something people train at for many, many years. So, sorry, I'm going all over the map here. I'm going to pause for 1 second on this because I do want to get to Carrie's video. I want to make sure that I don't forget that. We're already over time here, so I think what I want to do is I want to do Carrie's video right quick and then keep on going through the questions in the queue, just to make sure that I don't forget this, because Carrie's been waiting on this a while. And thank you for being patient, Carrie. I appreciate that. So, let's switch back over here. Thanks for sending the video, Carrie. And let's see what we got. Nice butterflies. I dig the split time. Whoop. A little unclear on whether we're working in wheel plane or wall plane here. It seems like the planes are kind of free form a wee bit. I think that was a tuck turn just a second ago there. So your butterflies look lovely, and I dig the command of split time that you have, which split time is tough. It's definitely, I put my question just below it. Oh, I gotcha. Yeah, so I'm liking the split time. Your butterflies are looking lovely. Yeah, I would, as I'm watching this, I would just like to see a little bit more clarity in terms of what the planes are. Whether we're in wheel plane or wall plane, and how that orients towards the audience. Yeah, because it gets a little blurry there at times, and yeah, it's just easier for the audience to puzzle out when those are more clearly defined. But yeah, other than that, I'm enjoying seeing you move around with them. I can see you grooving out with your body. That's something that most people don't get into until they're very, very deep into their poi journey. So yeah. I think you've got a solid foundation there in both together opposite as well as split time. Yeah, just clarify those planes a little bit more, and I think I think you're in a real good place. And your question: I'm not looking to do a lot of tricks. I want to flow and move freely. Cool. Yes, that's something that I like to do too. What types of moves would work best that is not technical or tricky and does not make you stop the movement of your body? So My answer to that, honestly, is going to be that I think Nick Woolsey nailed this a decade and a half ago. The key to it is flowers. Learn to get control of your flowers, be able to do in-spin and anti-spin flowers, get down your timing and direction. And that opens up so many possibilities for you for freedom of movement. I wish I had more to add on this topic, but quite frankly, I think that in terms of finding good flow and dancing to and dancing to music, the fundamentals are really in Nick Woolsey's flowers videos. You know, I definitely have found specific things that work with my dance style, but in broadest strokes, Nick got it right 15 years ago. More than 15 years ago, I want to say now. That's like getting closer to 17 years ago now, I want to say. But anyway, go look up some of Nick's older videos on, there's one particular video he did on poi flowers very, very early on in his YouTube channel that is just fantastic and explains why he thinks that flowers are so important. And specifically, you get to see him do a little bit of character work with it. And you get a good explanation from him of why poi flowers are so incredibly important for freedom of movement. So that would be my first recommendation. And honestly, my second recommendation would be sign up for my live stream classes, because basically my live stream classes are teaching the fundamentals of poi, but doing it with a specific aim of teaching people how to move with the tricks as they are learning them. You don't have to wait to dance with them. We integrate the dance into every single trick that we learn, and every unit, we're about to wrap up the 5th unit. Every single unit finishes up with a bit of poi choreography that we learn as a group, and your final project is to post it online. So those would be my 2 recommendations. Check out Nick Woolsey's old videos because they're still real good. And also, my live stream classes specifically cater to this. So, yeah, good question. So back to Sarah Hoffbauer. Okay, so FYI, so it's 8:16 my time. I'm going to call a hard stop on this at 8:30, just because I haven't eaten dinner yet, and I should see to that at some point. Yeah, but I really appreciate how active the chat and submissions have been tonight. Carrie M says, I will look those up for sure, and I will take a look at your live stream. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. Yeah, the live stream classes are available over at crowdcast.io/DrexFactor. That's where you can find those. Yeah, so keep those questions rolling in. And if you want to get your question bumped to the top of the queue, again, super chat helps out the channel. Yay. Yeah, so Sarah Hoffbauer, how can I improve independent hand movements, especially reversing tricks? So I think there's 2 questions buried inside of that. Number 1 is, how do you get as comfortable with the reverse versions of tricks as you are with the forwards version? Which the answer to that, honestly, is just you got to practice the reverse moves as much as you do the forwards moves. They're really uncomfortable to start with. That's whenever you encounter something with poi that feels really uncomfortable, that is a signal that that is new kinesthetic information for your body, and it means that that is something that you need to work on, something that you need to practice. So make sure that you're getting in equal reps of the reverse sides of the tricks that you are with the forward sides. In fact, sometimes I even like to double my reps with the reverse side as opposed to the forward side, just like, again, the John F. Kennedy quote, because it is hard. You know, doubling the reps means that they equal out sooner. As for getting independence of the hands, here's a drill that I love to give people for that. So this involves doing lots of stalls. So we start off with the poi spinning. Oh yeah, it is really hard to make out, isn't it? Hang on, let me adjust the camera right quick. Let's turn down the exposure just a wee bit, and hopefully these will stand out a little bit more on that background. There we go. That's a lot better. Fantastic. I look dark, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. So you start off with the poi bow spinning. These are clockwise relative to me in front of me in wall plane. You stall your right hand poi down. You keep the left hand poi spinning. You then pull the right hand back out into a butterfly. And you then take the left hand, stall it out, and bring it back in. Now both of the poi are spinning counterclockwise. Next, you stall the left poi down, and you bring it back out, again in a butterfly. And now with the right hand, you stall out and bring it back in, spinning clockwise. So the pattern is you stall right, left, left, right. And you cycle through both of the poi spinning clockwise. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. So we do clockwise, butterfly, counterclockwise, butterfly, and clockwise. Again, it's right, butterfly, left, counterclockwise, left, butterfly, right, clockwise. You drill this over and over and over again, and this will help develop the independent control of each hand and also their coordination together. Yeah, that is my recommendation for you. That is one of my favorite drills to give people. Yeah. So what we got here. JC says, I love that trick so much. 18-inch overall. LOL from K Weber. JC, you earned those, brother. Cool. I don't remember what we were talking about back then, but I trust that I did earn them. K Weber, short poi gang. Yeah, I mean, so my poi are shorter. Like, so here's the thing. I do the rule where they go from my thumb joint to my shoulder. My poi are still shorter than average just because my arms are very short for my height. That's just a weird thing about my proportions. A lot of people in the poi world actually have arm spans that are slightly wider than their height. Fun fact. So they'll tend to have longer poi. And it's wild because there's like people who favor like the manipulation style. It's really popular in Europe and amongst a lot of tech spinners. They'll have longer poi, partially because the longer tethers are easier to catch, and also because they make things like negative space a little bit easier. Contact poi rolls can sometimes be a little bit easier with longer tethers. They slow down with longer tethers. So yeah, there's a lot of things that those longer tethers are good for. And also there are some people that favor shorter tethers. Like my friend Charlie Cushing, the guy who created Lantern Smith, his poi go to his elbow joint. They're quite short. And that's a style that works really, really well for him. So there's a lot of different options out there. And of course, there's Maori style short poi, which like, those poi go to like the middle of my forearm. That's wild. I started working on that real hard this year, and it's a trip. Like, it's so wild to me because for years I've been swearing to people that the set of poi they start on doesn't really matter that much. That like, you know, one set of poi is as good as any other. And when people ask me, it's like, oh, is there a set of poi that's better for this or that? My usual answer is like, not really. You know, any set of poi will work. But wow, Maori short poi style, like there's basically no poi that are available on the market in Western contemporary style poi that like are suited to doing that. You have to get a set of poi that are built specifically for it. It's super wild. That was something that I was not expecting when I started up with it. And now I'm just like, wow. I had all these ideas of like integrating Maori style short poi with my poi dancing style, and it's gonna be really tough to do because just straight up a lot of the stuff, it either doesn't work or like it gets painful because there are some really, really rapid kind of batting or rapping the poi back and forth that with even, lighter sets of Western contemporary poi, just like, it either hurts to do it or it just like, you can't really do it to the beat. So it kind of loses some of its, impact. Yeah, so it's interesting how that works out. Samantha is chiming in on this one. Plus Maori poi, long poi, both single and double. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there is so much nuance to that I absolutely did not have a clue about until very, very recently. Like, I remember reading, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, I think it's Ngamani Huata, her book, The Rhythm and Life of Poi, which is impossible to find in the United States. And if I literally didn't live up the street from the Library of Congress, there's no way I ever would have gotten a hold of a copy. But she has an entire chapter where she talks about the differences between short and long style poi. And of course, my friend Tosh, who is teaching me short poi, I remember when I first walked in and I showed her, so she's the bartender at the bar where I go to for trivia on Thursday nights. I remember the first time I walked in with a set of my poi and we found out we had this in common. And she was just like, oh yeah, I suppose these are good for long style poi. And I'm just like, long style poi, what? Because by the standards of a lot of contemporary poi spinners, my poi are quite short. I didn't know what I was getting into there. I have a better idea now, but it was definitely a fun process of discovery. Yeah. So Jillian is asking, will you go to Wildfire this year? Maybe. That's on my list of festivals to apply to. Wildfire is tricky because they don't really... Wildfire starts with the assumption that every single person that's going to be involved in it, from teacher to greeter, is a volunteer. So you cannot get paid to teach there. You can get help with your travel, but they won't pay you to teach. So that makes it a little bit of a challenge. I am going to apply there. We're going to see what happens, is the short answer. We shall see. Carrie M, I'll look up, where I got there. Homely Sharpshooter, I made an edit of something. It's my recent and I want to know what you think because I'm not that good at editing much. Send it to me via DM. We're kind of winding down here, so yeah, I don't think we have time for me to react to it still on the live stream, unfortunately. I apologize. Kay Weber says, this is basically the same logic for butterfly juggling. Oh, I'm assuming you mean the exercise of developing independent hand control. Interesting. I've never heard of butterfly juggling. Maybe I should look that up. Carrie, I misspelled your live course URL. Can you say it again or paste it? Sure. Let me type it out for you here. It is crowdcast.io/DrexFactor in the chat. You should be able to click on that link if you want to. Yeah, we'd love to have you, Carrie. Kay Weber, my friend Coach has super short poi too. Yeah, I know Coach. Yeah, he does use super short poi. He certainly does. And I've seen other people use super short poi as well. Again, Charlie is renowned for that. Trying to think who else off the top of my head. But yeah, sure. It's not rare to spin short poi by Western standards, but yeah. But yeah, there's a short poi brigade out there for sure. Samantha says, yes, integrating Maori and flow is challenging. It's so challenging. It's so funny because I think you were on the live stream several months ago, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna learn more Maori style poi and see if I can integrate the two. And oh, I did not know what I was signing myself up for. But it's cool. So there's 3 videos that are going to be coming out over the course of the next 5 weeks of me and of Tosh teaching me short poi. And also, I'm going to be, I interviewed her about her experiences growing up spinning poi in New Zealand, Aotearoa. Yeah, it's quite fascinating to me because like there's so many layers on that I just did not get. Like it's not just that the style is very different. It's what it's meant to do. Like that short poi are also basically like a musical instrument in and of themselves. And so much of learning the technique is about like, you know, doing it's like learning to drum in a lot of ways, where you're like learning things like paradiddles and things like that are oh, it's saying the user does not exist. Oh, maybe it's Drex Factor Poi then. I might have screwed that up. Hang on. Try that, Carrie. Sorry, I can never remember which websites I'm Drex Factor on and which sites I'm Drex Factor Poi on. That's my bad. Yeah, but like, you know, the storytelling aspects of Maori Poi, the fact that they're like an instrument in and of themselves is fascinating. And of course, like, you know, that in a lot of cases, the movements done with them are supposed to represent very specific things. It's amazing. There's so much going on there. So I'm enjoying the challenge. I really don't know how the two are going to integrate or if they're going to integrate, but I'm up for the challenge. We'll see, right? We'll see. Samantha Ponga says, hoping to go to Burning Man, fingers crossed. Well, I have my fingers crossed for you as well. Make sure if you do come to the U.S. for Burning Man that you get to see some other parts of the country too. I'd love it if our paths crossed there. I don't think I'm going to Burning Man this year. I'm not feeling the hunger to go back just yet. So, but I hope if you're able to go that you have a lovely time and you build in some time on either end to be able to see some other parts of the country too. Yeah. JC says, you won me over with trivia. Ours is Thursday as well. Yeah, no, I love me my Thursday night trivia. Those are some of my favorite people here in the district. Ironically enough, so none of them are flow people. Tosh is the bartender, and it just random happenstance that she happens to grow up in New Zealand and grow up spinning poi. So yeah, no, none of the people I hang out with at the bar are flow people. Those are the people that I go to hang out with just to be a normal person. But yeah, I dig it. Jam Flowman spins super short poi. I love his quick, snappy style. Nice. Have to look him up. Sarah Hofbauer, I hate this already. That's why I know it's going to benefit me. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. Yeah, have fun with that exercise. For what it's worth, that's the exercise that I came up with within my first 2 years of spinning to work on this myself, and it worked. It worked so well. And Carrie M says, yay, that worked, thank you. All right, cool. I will file that one away that it's Drex Factor Poi and not Drex Factor. Cool. All right, friends, it is 8:32 where I am. I am definitely hungry, so I'm going to wrap this thing up. Thank you one and all for showing up tonight. I appreciate all the videos that you shared with me. I appreciate all of your questions. And we will be back again the last Friday of February, which that looks like it is 24th of February. Am I making that up? Let me see here. Nope, it's the 24th of February will be our next live stream. So make sure to come back and tune in for that. Once again, big thanks to UltraPoi for sponsoring the live stream. Head on over to ultrapoi.com, use my promo code DrexFactor with a 0 instead of an O. That'll get you a discount at checkout. Thank you one and all for joining me tonight. I hope you have a lovely evening or day, depending upon where you are at in the world. Yeah, and be on the lookout for more fun stuff coming from me. The first of those videos with Tosh, where I'm learning Maori style short poi, should drop Wednesday next week. Knock on wood. So, yeah, be on the lookout for that. Thanks so much, all. JC says, Night Drex, thank you for everything. Good night, everybody. Thank you, JC. Thank you. Totally Ridiculous says, good night. Samantha Ponga, sweet. Have a great month. You too. You too. Thanks for joining me tonight. And I will see you all next month. Stay warm, flow regularly, be good to each other, and I will see you real soon. Peace out.